Hello. So, not quite sure what put this idea in my head. Possibly in a bar watching part of a football game. I'm not really a big sports fan, but I'll watch a game when it's on. And local bar I go to will sometimes have a movie on the second TV screen, and Marvel Studios movies run on a regular basis, so it's possible one of those was on another screen. I just got to thinking about fantasy football and a fantasy team based on superheroes. And of course, then, what about heroes? What about villains? What about whatever? So I think I'm gonna couple upcoming videos look into this and come up with my fantasy teams. Probably come up with four: DC and Marvel Universe heroes and villains from each. Not gonna try to have a video on, well, what if this team played against that team, because that would be all sorts of controversy. Speaking of which, I expect people are going to react to these videos if they really care, saying, well, you forgot so and so or whatever, or this character should be on your team or whatever. And yeah, I'm not going to go down that argument either. I'm just going to let you know this is my opinion, all my opinion here. But first things first, before I even got into that, I got to thinking, what should the rules of this be? Because that's one thing, people are going to, well, you should have so and so, and they'll just take the ball and boom, touchdown. Take the ball, touchdown. And so, before I get into this whole argument of, well, so and so is the ultimate player, what rules is the ultimate player going to have to play by? And, yeah, before we go further, I'm going to say villains are playing by the rules too. You can't just say, well, he's a villain, so he can do whatever he wants. No, everyone has to play by the rules. That's the one rule I'm putting in my fantasy football theme here. And so, first rule is standard football rules. So we got stuff like you got to be in uniform. So Iron Man super suit is out of uniform. Sorry, you can either have Tony Stark in a regular uniform or nothing. Can't have extra stuff. Letting Thor run around with Mjolnir would be the equivalent of in a regular football game saying this guy's allowed to carry a baseball bat and whack his opponents. That's not going to happen. So you don't get extra equipment either. So that's going to cut some stuff down. Boundaries. This is the important one here, because if the Flash runs fast enough, he can go back in time. Now, we're setting that as a boundary. No time travel. You're out of bounds if you travel in time. The officials are going to go crazy if they have to update every time someone comes back in time. And oh yeah, first quarter, but we got to give them an extra touchdown because someone just came back from the fourth quarter and scored. Or I guess that would be putting extra men on the field, and so we got another penalty coming out here. Or I don't know how you would do that exactly, but no time travel. What about teleporting? Would teleporting be considered out of the bounds? And I'm thinking probably. Otherwise it's give Nightcrawler the ball, bamf, touchdown. Recover the ball, give it to Nightcrawler, bamf, touchdown. And it would become a boring game. No one would want to watch it. So, teleporting's out. Phasing, what about that? Give so-and-so the ball and they can run through everyone and make a touchdown. Well, Flash can move through objects by vibrating at a certain frequency so that he doesn't mess with his molecules don't match the molecules of the objects he's passing through. If that is how phasing works in general, then it's reasonable to think that one phaser should be able to tackle another phaser just because they're basically just out of sync with the rest of the universe. So phasing is allowed just because it can be canceled out by another phaser. In fact, phasing, it's really only beneficial if your opposing team doesn't have a phaser on it. So not going to have a lot of phasers anyway, but it's legal, I'm going to say. What other rules here? Standard sportsmanship. You can't get angry at someone, or you can't yell at the ref, or you can't, yeah, I'm putting Hulk out of my team because he's had anger issues. In fact, he'd probably end up getting his entire team kicked out just because of anger issues. So, can't do that. What else do we have? Now, I mean, it's tempting to limit power. Flight. Give him the ball. Well, it's a superhero universe. Lots of people can fly, so flight isn't necessarily the ultimate power. You know, we give it to our flyer. They have their flyer. Grab him and bring him down to the ground. Um, Mind control. That's the tough one. I'm going to say, in the most cases, mind control takes concentration, and usually another person with psychic powers can break mind control off someone. So, like I said, because it takes concentration, and you got 22 people on the field at a time, it's sort of not a benefit. And like I said, if the other team has another person with mental abilities, they can break your mind control. So mind control is allowed. It's just something. It's not going to be very useful. So I'm not going to put many mind control people on any of my teams, just because. Yeah, it's allowed. It's not useful. Besides, it's this is one thing I thought about is we're looking at things like uniform. Like I said, can't wear extra gear. That's actually in the rules of some franchises. Some other thing, there is no rule that says you can't mind control the other person. There's no rule that says you can't phase. Like I said, teleportation, I'm putting that in with the out of bounds rules. Basically, you're stepping into another universe, you're off the field. Time travel, you're stepping out of time, you're off the field. So those are boundary issues. Other things, flight, no rule that says you can't fly. No rule that says you can't phase through people. So there's all sorts of, you can stretch, you can, use super senses, you can do. So all of these other rules are allowable. And the limitations to them, or all the other powers, the limitations to them is, can other people contradict them? Superhero universe. So just because I have this power doesn't mean someone can't not contradict, cancel it. So yeah, there's a lot of powers are going to be allowable. You just can't be, it's a superhero universe. Someone's already come up with a way to cancel them all. So otherwise, the guy would have never been caught, or the bad guy would have, or the good guy would have never fallen into a death trap and had to get out of it because someone already found a way to cancel it out. So there are a lot of powers you think, that's it's not illegal in a football game because they never thought anyone would be using them. So yeah, you're going to be allowed to do a lot of stuff. It's just, will it be useful for this particular game? That's about all. I had one other thing I just thought of, and I can't remember it. So maybe I'll remember it in a future video and bring it up. But that's it. Like I said, this is going to be something I'm going to look into for the next few videos. I like comic books. I'm don't have a huge collection of them, or haven't done them for a long time. So there's going to be characters I don't think about. I'm going to say that now. So there will be people who watch these videos and say, well, what about so and so? And my answer is, I just didn't think about them. At the same time, there are going to be some characters I'm going to think about that some of the viewers won't think about. So yeah. Like I said, it's all going to be opinion. So yeah, you've got a right to say I don't like this. Argue in the comments, whatever. But this is my opinion. And so, like I said, this is just something I got thinking about. Something a little fun to do rather than the more semi-serious videos that I try to do. Again, my serious videos are all my opinion anyway too. So they're not overly serious either. But this is just, let's have a little fun for a while. It's winter time. It's football season. I'm not a big sports fan. So, like, again, there's going to be people saying, well, what about such and such? And I'm going to say, well, I just never considered that rule because I'm not a big sports fan. I basically watch football when I'm in a bar and it's on the television set, and I just want to, waiting for my takeout order to come in. So I'll watch a little football or watch a little movie or combine the two in my head and come up with a fantasy football team based on superheroes. So, like I said, my next few videos, or on and off my next few videos, I'm going to be coming up with my teams for this. And that's it. Have a nice day.